everyone, Noctem0 here. And first off, yes, I know Star Wars Battlefront, but really, I don't use this Share Factory setting thingy for anything else. And I used to have Battlefront, but I got rid of it because I was so annoyed with it. But I figured I saw Rogue One. I'm doing a review on Rogue One. I might as well use something Star Wars related to kind of help out a bit. Let's be all comfortable here. And honestly, I had no intention at all of doing a Rogue One movie review, an honest review. But I've been getting so many requests, not even just on my YouTube, but I mean like a bunch of friends on my Facebook, Twitter, and I guess I might as well just get into it. I saw the movie. I gotta say, holy crap. That was a movie right there. That's actually how you do a Star Wars movie. Most people I know that know me well enough know I wasn't really a fan of Episode 7. I had a lot of issues with it, the way the story was told. I think it's more or less my problem with Episode 7 was the fact that it deviated from an established universe because they're starting over. But at least Rogue One, we know what was before and we know what was after. So it's nice to see a good story that they can tell. Because we know how this story ends, but it's getting there is what really hit home here. First off, I want to say the casting in this movie was fantastic. I questioned it at first. Like I felt like they got too many celebrities and too many no-named actors on here, but they all complemented each other so well. Especially like Donnie Yen. I mean, his character I think was my favorite. Not for the martial arts or whatever. Just he was so humble in nature. I did like Jyn Erso. Her character was actually pretty interesting. I mean, the whole crew of the Rogue One, which I expected the Rogue One to be a different ship, not a carrier, but still, to me, it's what a Star Wars movie is. What a lot of my gripes, and I'll get into it in a sec. The gripes, pretty much, for one, it didn't really feel like a Star Wars film in terms of cinematography. I mean, if you go back watching episodes 1 through 6, you can tell George Lucas, his hand and how he wanted it done. I'm pretty sure, we all recognize it at this point. Episode 7 kind of tried to do that, but they really didn't. There were some aspects that were, okay, that looks like a Lucas shot. Others were, okay, J.J. Abrams. This movie, oh my God, it could not have been more off the reservation when it came to just the cinematography. But at the same time, I mean, like I tried to find some little bits in there, which was nice. I did like a lot of the references to the older movies. It was nice to catch them. If you're a fan, you'll catch them instantly. I actually went to see it with my buddy, and like I kept jumping up at every scene that I saw, and he was like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "You don't recognize this from any?" He's like, "Not really." I'm like, "God damn it, you're not really a fan then." But you'll know what I mean when you see those little gems. Let's see, to go back more to the story of it. I mean, the story was told pretty well, but the movie felt so a little less without the opening crawl. That's how I felt when it first started. Like, oh my God, why is there no opening crawl? There's like no da-da-da, the whole intro for Star Wars. No, they didn't have that. Instead, the way they started it made sense why there was no opening crawl to begin with. Because every Star Wars movie, the opening crawl tells you a bit of a backdrop of what's going on in the world of Star Wars, and then we're just thrown into the movie and we're just watching it from beginning to the end with no this happened earlier or this happened later type shit, unless it's like a memory flashback or something like that. No, this movie starts off with pretty much you seeing something happening. I wouldn't say immediately after Revenge of the Sith, but sometime, I guess, a couple of years after. No, this movie set that part up pretty well, and then they just jump right into Rogue One's story, more around the time of episode 4, A New Hope. Um, and to me, that was pretty cool how they started doing that. And then to go on a bit further, they told the story so well. It was they've had characters we don't know about, but we just feel connected to just by seeing who they are, how they react. Just honestly, this movie was worth it. It was well worth seeing, well worth watching. The oh my god, the fights between the rebels and the Empire, that was brutal. I mean, like they were just it was just so crazy. The battles were so intense. You wanted to see the rebels win. I mean, honestly, I seeing Jeremy John's review of the film, I didn't really find too much of what the rebels were doing questionable. I mean, they were doing what was necessary to win the war at the time, and I noticed that I guess after Jyn showed up, she helped inspire them. It was different with when playing the Force Unleashed and Starkiller inspired the Rebel Alliance. Personally, though, I still hope that they do something about that. That they bring that into the main continuity. That'd be nice if they did. But the point is that from what I've seen in that, they were making this movie to really be a Star Wars homage. I mean, cinematography, yeah, nothing like Star Wars, because the director who did this did Godzilla, and he knows how to do scale. Oh my God! I mean, Death Star. Ugh. Oh, the CG. Oh my God, the CG with Grand Moff Tarkin. Oh God, I saw that and I'm like, that's almost as good as Robert Downey Jr.'s CG in Captain America: Civil War. I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, they made him look just like the actor. This isn't really a spoiler. I mean, we all know I mean, Princess Leia is in the movie, okay? Her CG, not so much. That felt dated, like, and rushed. It really felt rushed. Just you can tell it was fake off the bat. Grand Moff Tarkin, it took me a second. Darth Vader, though, oh God, it was when he showed up, he had a presence, and I wanted more, but knowing how the film is, I knew I couldn't, I knew I wouldn't be getting much more, but he was badass. From like Wolverine in X-Men First Class, he shows up for a brief moment, kicks some ass, bam, and you know what I mean with First Class. I will say though, clearly someone's a Lord of the Rings fan in the production of Star Wars Rogue One, because if you look at Darth Vader's tower, it might make you think of a certain other Dark Lord. You'll see what I mean when you see the film. What else can I say about it? I think towards the end of the film, though, that's when it's a real bit of a tearjerker, especially if you decide to get attached to these characters, even though you know what's going to happen at the end. I mean, God, this movie really did tug at the feels for a good bit. It was intense, but even knowing what was going to happen, you didn't want to see it happen, because these characters were just so well portrayed, well casted, everything. I mean, you believed everything that they were saying. You wanted to be part of the Alliance. You wanted to help them fight. I mean, they were fighting so hard. So they were outnumbered, outgunned, everything, and they fought as hard as they could. It was that awesome. The Death Star, truly, they really changed how the Death Star destroyed planets a bit. I don't know if it was more or less just in, what is it? They wanted to reduce its real strength. I don't know, but in the original, it showed blowed up planets. You'll see what I mean. Like, did planets get destroyed or just certain surfaces? I don't know. But the film was amazing. I recommend everyone to go see it now. I really wasn't going to do a review of this, but I had to. I'm sorry this dragged out as long as it did. I'm just trying to nitpick everything. I mean, there are locations in Star Wars Rogue One that show up in the original movies, so it was nice to see those little moments. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. It was It was an amazing film. They're establishing even more about this version of the Star Wars universe instead of what Lucas established way back when. I'm hoping for more like this. I'm hoping for Star Wars Kenobi, something. I want to see more of these side stories because they expand the universe so well. And as a Star Wars fan, I just cannot wait to see what else they come up with. I mean, I'm a huge fan, and I really thought I was going to come in hating this movie or something, but no, it's a love letter to fans, showing that it is in good hands. There's still going to be a lot of problems with the main series, of course, because as fans we're going to nitpick. But as long as they do some more side stories like this, awesome. Anyway, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm sorry this review dragged out as long as it did. Again, I really didn't intend it for this, but and again, I apologize for the Battlefront stuff. But I don't have really great any kind of software. Everything's done on my PlayStation.